Hey, gang. Thanks for tuning in on this edition of Late Night Mark's DIY Skunk Works, where I build useful and sometimes low cost projects to improve your productions. Tonight is my DIY softbox that can be used for video, photography, or even just improve your webcam video quality. So hang on, it's an easy project, isn't going to cost you a whole lot, and it's fun to do if you're like a project builder. So, saving money is what it's all about. Here we go. I love this song, man. And away we go. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for to see this amazing DIY light. Up, pulling it down. This is basically my homemade light. The outside is just a inexpensive $10 to $15 flash modifier that would go over a speed light. And you can get these. These are really inexpensive. You can get them off the internet. You can get them at your local camera store. And I've seen them as cheap as $10. And here is my light. This is basically the container is nothing more than a used, recycled vitamin supplement container. It's like a white translucent. And I have my 12-volt LED. So here you can see the bottle. So if you got an old vitamin bottle like this, you can turn it into a nice soft box. And let's get up close. You can see I just fed a wire. And let me turn the light off. All right, so now you can see it. Basically, that LED ran me about, I don't know, you can buy two of these for under $5 at Walmart. And I will give you the details. Ran the wire through the lid. I got this little grommet here. Uh, picked that up at Harbor Freight. I got like a whole container full of these. So that's basically that part. And the other end, since I am using this for mobile applications, I had an old courtesy outlet cigarette lighter adapter plug for 12 volts, and I just soldered the wires over that. You have to be mindful that you get your polarity correct on the LED. And if you can do a little soldering, man, such an easy job. And I'm like a electronics tinker guy, so I got stuff like this all the time. And I'm gonna plug this back in up here. Oh, hang on. Back into my outlet. Hit my power switch on the dashboard. And now it's gonna give me a hard time, isn't it? Oh, wrong switch. There we go. We're lit up. And you can see I have ambient light in here. But without this, you get these shadows. And, it's not really great for the webcam. So you get this over here, this light, and it's enough to fill in those shadows. But this is still pretty small. So, a smaller the light, yeah, it'll give you your catch lights in your eyes, important for photography. But the smaller the light source, the harsher the shadows, the harsher the light and shadows. So you pop this into your softbox modifier, and now it becomes a much bigger light. and you can see if it's on me. It just takes away those shadows. It's just enough to give you a little better video quality. You won't get the graininess. You're not sitting in the dark. And this has the Velcro so it can wrap around and lock onto the speed light. Well, guess what? My booth is surrounded by these blankets for sound for helping with the audio to treat the area, and I can just stick this up on one of those blankets. It just sticks pretty much anywhere. Okay, so that's sitting basically behind the webcam, and bam, everything's lit up. I don't have the bags under my eyes. Don't look as bad. So just a little bit of work. If you can do some soldering, if you got some parts laying around, even if you had to go buy all the parts, you could build this pretty cheap. And I like these a lot better than the ring lights. I know the ring lights, people like those, but it gives you this weird ring on the catch light in your eye. It looks like an alien thing. But I know, yeah, it's kind of nice. It's I know the ladies like it for their photography and for photography if you're doing macro photography of bugs. Well, man, you can really light up those bugs nice with one of those, and basically the camera sits right inside the ring. I'm not doing that here. Basically, this is just so I can do a little blogging. If I have to do a webinar with somebody taking a lesson with a coach, he's going to be able to see me very clear. What if I'm doing a voiceover gig and I'm working with a client or something? They're going to want to see me, right? So I don't want to look like a hooded dark hacker sitting in a dark place. You want to give a good impression. So anyway, this is my rig, and I'll go into the details on, a little bit, some photos, close ups on how everything looks. But yeah, that thing works pretty darn nice. It's it's great. And here's the mandatory disclaimer. This is how I did this project. If you try to do something like this, you're on your own. I'm not going to be responsible for you starting a fire, hurting yourself, hurting somebody else. You need to do your due diligence on making sure that this is wired safely and fused and with proper gauge wires so you don't start a fire. And make sure you use an LED that doesn't get so hot that it's going to set the plastic on fire. This video is just for entertainment purposes. Thanks for tuning in. Hey gang, thanks for tuning in on this edition of Late Night Mark's DIY Skunk Works, where I build useful and sometimes low-cost Hey gang, thanks for tuning in on this. Hey gang, thanks for tuning in on this edition of Late Night Mark's DIY Skunk Works, where I build useful and sometimes low-cost projects to improve your productions. Tonight in my DIY... Hey gang, thanks for tuning in on this edition of Late Night Mark's DIY Skunk Works, where I build useful and sometimes low-cost projects to improve your audio